Hi class, today we're going to be looking at Chapter 8, Lesson 4, More Two-Step Equations, also known as multi-step equations. Now what we will learn today is how to solve equations of the form p parentheses x plus q equals r. So in other words, we will learn equations that include distributive property, also known as using the division property because we can now isolate the value, the coefficient, beforehand, and how to solve verbal problems by writing and solving equations in the form of p parentheses x plus q equals r. So our vocabulary for today are that two-step equations is in a mathematical sentence stating that two expressions are equal and it contains two operations. So the two operations could be adding, subtracting, and multiplying and dividing. So it could be used in different contexts. So for example 1, we're going to solve and check our solution. So for letter A, the first step we're going to do is divide each side by 4 because this is the division property. So we're left with x plus 3 equals 28 divided by 4, which is 7. We then can subtract 3 to each side, and we have x equals 4. So now let's check our solution. We have 4 parentheses, 4 plus 3 equals 28. So now in this case, 4 plus 3 is 7. So 4 times 7 does equal 28. So yes, this is a correct solution. Now for question B, we have a fraction. So with fractions, we have to do something slightly different. We're going to multiply each side by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 5 over 3 to each side. And we are able to cross cancel the 5 over 3 and the 3 over 5, which leaves us with the result of m minus 6 equals, and of course we can cross cancel the 9 and the 3 here. It leaves you with just a 3. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. We now can isolate the constant by adding 6 to each side. So now we have m equals negative 15 plus 6, which is negative 9. And to check our solution, we just go negative 9 minus 6 is negative 15. Negative 15 times 3 over 5 is negative 9. So our answer ends up being negative 9. Now for question C, we're going to first correct this problem. It should be an equal sign, an addition symbol. And we are going to divide each side by negative 2. And we're left with y minus 3 equals 22 divided by negative 2, and that's negative 11. We can then add each side by 3, and we're left with y equals negative 8. And of course, we can check our solution by substituting negative 8 into the problem. So negative 8 minus 3 is negative 11. Negative 11 times negative 2 is positive 22. Then in part D, this time with a fraction, we have to multiply each side by the reciprocal instead of just dividing. So we're just going to times it by 3 over 1. And it cancels the 3 over 1 and the 1 over 3. And we're left with c minus 4 equals 12 times 3, which is 36. We then add each side by 4, and c would then equal 40. And again, we can check our solution, substitute it back in. 40 minus 4 is 36, and then 36 divided by 3 would then equal 12. Go ahead and turn your notes over to the back side now. Now in example 2, we have DeAndre is ordering tickets for a concert. He buys 3 tickets that all have the same price. There is a service charge of $4.75 per ticket. The total cost of his order is $111.75. What is the price of each ticket? So if he's purchasing 3 tickets and we know that each ticket has a service charge of $4.75, then we know that the cost of the ticket was going to be added to the service charge for each one of those tickets. So we have 3 parentheses x plus 4.75 equals 111.75. Now we can use the division property where we divide each side by 3, so we can cancel it out. And we have $111.75 divided by 3, and we are left with x plus 475 equals 37.25. Now we subtract the 475 from each side. And we have x equals $32.50. So that means each ticket would be that value. You can also use distributive property to solve two-step equations. This is useful when numbers on the outside of the parentheses is not a factor of the constant term or on the other side of the equation. So in this case, if I distribute, I'm going to multiply the outside number to each inside value. So 6 times y is 6y, 6 times 4 would be positive 24, and then it equals negative 15. So now I'm able to subtract 24 from each side, and that leaves me with 6y equals negative 39. Then I can divide each side by 6, and y would equal negative 6.5. And then, of course, you can check your solution by substituting it back into the original equation. So we just go 6 times negative 6.5, and we add it to the 24, and we just make sure that it ends up being negative 15. Now in part B, I would do the same thing, distribute. So 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. Then 9 times x is 9x equals negative 2. So I isolate the constant, adding 27 to each side, and negative 2 plus 27, I'm left with positive 25. Then I divide each side by 9, and 25 divided by 9, I'm left with x equals 2.7 repeating. Now go ahead and practice these 8 practice problems on your own.